All right, what is going on, my dudes? Yondu is getting buffed. How exciting is that? So, Yondu, we're going to go over today everything we need to know, highlighted, just like always. Let's get into it. About Yondu. Centurion scoundrel Yondu Udanta may not seem like much of a threat at first glance, but when you hear a whistle and his deadly Yaka arrow comes out to play, it's not advisable to make any rash decisions. Leader of the Ravagers and mentor to Star-Lord, Yondu is a stickler for honor, but not above breaking a rule or 10 to get what he wants. So, let's start jumping into it, man. Prestige, not the best. Don't put Sigs in this guy for prestige. If you like him, sig him up, but don't do it for prestige. That seems to be, you know, how these things go. Alright, Yondu's mechanics. The leader of the Ravagers found himself some upgrades. Good, he needed them. Along with the ability to steal his opponent's armor up buffs, Yondu has learned how to steal his opponent's prowess effects and turn them into armor buffs for himself. To help him fight those pesky mutants even more effectively, Yondu has an upgraded heal block lasting up to 25 seconds when fighting an opponent who is regenerating. Yondu also made some tweaks to his Yaka arrow, upgrading its chance to bleed opponents as well as upgrading its damage output. Good. Two things he needed. So, this guy, man, seems like a bit of a value moderate type thing where he's getting some new abilities, but a lot of his abilities are just getting bumped up a bit. So let's start jumping into like what he does, how he does it. So, strengths, heal block. Against opponents who have a regen effect, Yondu has one of the longest heal blocks in the game, easily accessible with the special 1, and prowess removal. Yondu has a 50% chance on all attacks to remove prowess effects off his opponent. That's good. That's good, right? So, let's keep it moving here. Obviously, Purify and Bleed and Armor Break Punish, you don't want to use them against those people. So, abilities. Yaka arrow. Yondu utilizes his Yaka arrow during his first and third light attacks, as well as during his heavy and special attacks. These attacks have plus 445 armor and block penetration, as well as the following. 40% chance to inflict a bleed debuff, causing 2,324 direct damage over 7 seconds, and against bleed immune opponents, instead have a 40% chance to inflict an armor break debuff, removing 1 armor up buff and reducing armor rating by 374 9 seconds. Now, that chance to bleed or armor break is increased, and the bleed damage is increased, as well as the armor break rating as well. So I can also gain armor up buffs on you, which is definitely really nice. Okay. The strength and precision of Yondu's Yaka arrow allow it to trigger critical hits and personal abilities through the opponent's block. Super fun. Developers note: don't forget that you can inflict bleeds or armor breaks through the opponent's block. All right. She just said it. Don't forget the last line, guys. Okay. All attacks. 25% chance to pilfer 1 armor up buff and 50% chance to pilfer 1 prowess effect. For each prowess or armor up pilfered, gain an armor up buff, granting plus 1400 armor rating for 15 seconds. That's good. Combine that with some War Machine pre-fights, you're gonna have a pretty good time. Yondu now has the ability to steal his opponent's prowess effects and or armor up buffs, and convert them into armor up buffs for himself. This should come in handy against annoying mutant defenders such as Sauron and Storm Pyramid X. I could think of a few more that are just a little bit more annoying than that, but let's keep it going. Always active. Opponent suffers minus 10% combat power rate for each debuff on them. That's pretty good, man. Especially when you could stack up, you know, some armor breaks or bleeds. Plus, there's like the weakness from the Sig ability, all that fun stuff. So yeah, that's definitely not too bad. If you combine that with like a Mr. Fantastic Suppression or also Collar Tech, if you happen to run that, you're going to have a really good time just not giving them any power. However, you might not want to do that for what we talk about when we get to the special 2. So, Special Attack 1. Plus 100% offensive ability accuracy during this attack. Cool. 100% chance to inflict a heal block debuff lasting 12 seconds, but if the opponent is regenerating, instead inflict a 25-second debuff. That is really, really long. It's going to keep all healing under control as long as they aren't immune to heal block. So, Special 2. A little help from my friends. Some nice block penetration, and look at this. For each special attack the opponent has launched this fight, gain a Passive Fury, granting 697% attack rating for 14 seconds. Max of 12 stacks. Now, you want to be baiting out lots of specials from the defender so you can get those Furies up and up and up, okay? In the past, currently, right now, if you were to use Yondu, the way his special attack works is his special 2 gains increased attack rating based on how many special attacks the opponent uses. You may not know that because nobody uses Yondu. Now, you're getting a Fury that lasts for 14 seconds from that same ability. So not only will the special 2 have increased damage for 14 seconds after, up to a max of 12, right? It's going to be at a max stack over 7,000%. That shouldn't be a percent. So it shouldn't be 697%, but it's going to be over plus 7,000 attack rating, right? If you have 11 or 12 Furies, which is definitely pretty good. And I believe this is based on a 5-star rank 5, so a 6-star rank 3 or even rank 2 is going to definitely have more damage, obviously, but more than plus 7,000 attack rating, which is definitely not bad. All right, it's not going to be amazing. That's going to take a decent bit of time to ramp up. But listen, for progressing accounts, right? That's what I see. That's where I see Yondu being really great for. You know, for the people who don't have Nimrod and, you know, Omega Sentinel obviously is even newer, and champions like that. Having a champion who does have a 50% base chance to remove all prowess effects, right? That's going to be really good for those people. And also, a nice solid attack increase for those longer fights is definitely not too bad. Now, I do wish that every time he removed an armor up or prowess, it counted towards this ability. That's where I feel like a little bit of a missed opportunity is, where I feel like it was for each, you know, special attack the opponent was launched in this fight, or for each prowess effect pilfered, gain a passive fury. That would just make him really good against mutants, and it would just make him, give him a little more competitiveness in the tech class when it comes to countering those top mutants, you know? Like, I'm personally never going to be picking Yondu over Nimrod or even War Machine or, you know, Howard the Duck with synergy, right? Just because I'm not going to want to be ramping up that high to get my damage in a quest. Maybe in something like a Abyss style or Gauntlet style, or maybe in the future, something like an Eternity of Pain type fight, Yondu is going to be really good for. There's going to be armor ups, there's going to be prowess, right? It's going to be a long fight, and by the time you get to those special 2s, it's going to be doing some good damage. So I can definitely see Yondu being pretty good. It's definitely an improvement, no doubt about it, but I don't think he's going to be, like, shaking up the meta of the game, you know what I'm saying? So, Special Attack 3, Yaka Ataka. That's a really cool name. 100% chance to gain a precision buff, increasing critical rating by plus 700 for 20 seconds. Cool. 100% chance to inflict an indefinite non-attacking passive special concussion, reducing ability accuracy during special attacks by 100% until the end of the opponent's next special attack. Cool. Those are, like, okay. Those are like okay things. I'd say stay away from the special 3. Now, his sig ability is not in the sheet, but it is staying the same, and it's very good, to be entirely honest. So Yondu's high octave vocal range gives him precise control over his Yaka arrows. Enemies activating a special attack suffer weakness for each debuff effect they're suffering from at the time of the activation, reducing attack by 15 to 40% for 5 seconds. So, if they have 2 debuffs, you're reducing their attack by 80% at max sig. If they have 3 debuffs, 120%, assuming that's additive. Even if it's not, that's a lot of damage reduction, right? For the weakness. It's a very strong weakness, right? So, you combine that with the armor ups that you're stealing onto yourself, this guy's going to be very tanky. So that's why I'm saying, like, I think this guy's going to be good for, like, newer accounts, for rushing players, right, who are still getting to that high advanced level, right, still working their way through content, don't have all the top tech options, right, aren't the best at fighting yet, are still learning, or still getting there, right? He's going to be really tanky, he's going to be good for those longer fights, and he's going to have some nice utility as well. He's just an overall, like, improved, nice value buff. Not going to be shaking up the game for any, like, late endgame players. No, not every buff is going to be for every type of player, so I do think a buff like this is definitely a huge win for people who have Yondu and don't have many other 6-stars in the rosters. So, yeah, man, that's Yondu on paper. He looks pretty cool. We'll have to see how he is in reality. But until that video comes, drop a like on this one, comment what you think about the Yondu buff in the comment section below, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the Yondu gameplay coming to you when it goes live, and I'll be seeing you around.